Hi, welcome back to Transform to One's channel. We are a faith-based organization whose vision is to foster transformational change through Christ-centered initiatives. One way in which we do this is by hosting our annual Navigating Trauma workshop series in person here in Jamaica. As we prepare for our upcoming workshop, which is themed Managing Grief, it will take place on November 1st. We've opened up a space on YouTube for persons who've experienced losses to share their journeys with us. We've chosen to do this to bring awareness to the realness of grief as real people experience it, and also to assist our listeners who've also experienced loss, just to help them to realize that they aren't alone and to share just how different our journeys can be. And that's okay, and in fact, it's pretty normal. While doing this, we also realized that it helped our guests to positively process their losses too. For this, we are grateful. Today's question is, who or what helps you? Here are the responses of our guests.
So my family was a very big help. My family and my friends, honestly. I think it helps a little bit to know that you're not alone. And we had we couldn't have a night, so we had like a virtual gathering, and to hear people talk about my dad and the impact that he had on them, when I remember those things, it really helped. You know, you're not alone. Obviously, everybody's degree of the loss is different because it's my dad, it's their friend, it's my mom's husband, you know, but the fact that I'm not alone really helped. I really have a lot of understanding friends and partner who can pick up when I would withdraw, and they would call me, call me and band me up, out of love, of course. And so that also helped me to know that I really was not alone, as much as I felt like I was going through this by myself. And trying to do things, trying to get back into some habit really helped as well, because I had really just fallen out of it. I was extremely depressed. I was extremely sad. I was very, very angry and confused. But trying to get back into some routine really helped as well.
To be honest, I have a good support system. I have friends who genuinely care about my well-being. My family, though small, and the fact that I'm a teacher and the relationship I have with my students, I have to be honest, especially my husband died, my students were actually the wings beneath my wing. They literally carried me through. And incidentally, they were preparing for their CSEC exam. And trust me, that batch, I'll never forget them because they really carried me through. Also, what I did, because when my daughter died, I did not do any form of counseling. I had my husband. When my brother died, I had my husband. When he died, I really didn't have anyone. So what I did, I expanded my workforce. So you know, a high school teacher teaches between 2 and 3 subjects. I did 4 and 6. So my time was really consumed with teaching. I started an online tutoring thing, not for extra money, but to occupy my time. So that's what I did. I just kind of spend most of my time working so that I don't have to think. I think I suffer from PTSD though, because all of these, they are fresh. I'm talking about it now, and I can remember the police calling to ask me if I know a Chantal Butler, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, what happened to her? She dead? And he must say, oh, you know, why did I say she dead? But you know, I could have felt that from the moment that something was off. So I'll be fine now. I'll be here talking with you, laughing with you, and then I just get silent. It means that a memory is there.
So what and who helps me? I mentioned that I have a very good friend, my best friend actually. The support I get from her is what I need. The tough love, the emotional girthing, you know, that's as we call it in Jamaica. family is helpful also. Just to speak with them, especially my mom at this time. It's always nice to hear her voice, how well she's doing. Not even talking about the the the, the loss of daddy, but just speaking with her gives me that indication that, well, she's doing well, she's doing much better, she's managing. So having those individuals to speak to is good. Being honest with yourself is also something that works for me.
So it's important, I think, to have a community. And when I say community, I'm not necessarily talking about a big group, but you need people, one or two, three, whatever works for you. But you need people who you can talk to, people who are there to support you. And I don't mean the fake you, but the real you. People who will listen to you. One of the things that I found that was helpful for me was going over the information, going over my feelings, going over what happened, going over why I thought it might have happened, and having people who listen to me over and over, even if I'm saying the same thing, that was helpful. So grief, I think, is one of those things that you cannot rush, you cannot copy, you cannot tell it how it's going to unfold or whatever. And I think that was a big deal, or has been a big deal, because I don't want it to seem like it's all over. But yeah, just being honest with myself and doing what it is that I need in a particular moment. So if it is I need to cry, then allow myself to cry. If it is I need to talk, then talk it out. If I want to do something, or I'm telling myself that I should be at a particular place, it's about confronting myself and saying, it's okay. If this is where you are, then this is where you are. And again, leaning into God, because bad things happen, but God is still good. And sometimes it's hard to reconcile that, but you have to leave it, because such is the nature of life and just this world. Everything, we won't understand everything. And I think I'm remembering now that one of the things that I held on to while I was grieving my aunt, like when she just passed, it was this statement that said, trust where you don't understand. And that trust, of course, is in God.
Along the journey, God was so intentional that He put me in a space where, in the initial stages, similar to how when I just came to Christ, it was just me and Him, right? He came to me in His Holy Spirit, time to get baptized. And then in this journey, in this loss, He came to me again by saying, the love that I was looking for in these relationships, He's been trying to give it to me, why I won't accept it. And having that experience, accepting that love, He made sure that our relationship was kindled to a point where today, even the very clothes that I wear, ask the Holy Spirit, what we're going to wear today? What do you think about this? Do you think I should do this? What we're going to eat for dinner? And that might sound crazy, but that's how my relationship with God works. That's how I am sure that I train my eyes, my ears to know God's voice, because my existence, what I do, depends on that relationship. It's my best friend. It's my father, right? And if you have a father or best friend, you're going to talk to them every day. You're going to talk to them, what do you think about this? What do you think about that option? Should I wear this? And so God initially helped a lot. And then to the latter part, in 2019, 2020, 2021, I realized I started to become open to community. So even though I got baptized in 2009, Church on Rock Negril, and I moved to Kingston in 2012, and I started attending Church on Rock Kingston in 2013, 14. And community for me came in the way that it is now in 2019, 2020, right? Where God was just strategic in placing me with people and in spaces that show his love and compassion, who can hold space for me to heal in ways that my past would have taught me that this hyper independence, go getter, and I have to do things alone is not necessary, right? And so he has provided friends, people who you'd have thought that I know them from a long time, but probably just meet some of them last year or the year before that, you know? And so there's God, and then the community from church, and just random people I would have met that just somehow see the vision and purpose of my life and decided to just be my destiny helpers in every single season. Yeah. Oh, I must big up my therapist. I've had 2 since the journey, serving different purposes, and of course the healing and deliverance ministry at Church on the Rock that I had gone through, and then I was trained to be a healing and deliverance, what do you call it now, administrator. Yeah.
I believe so. My family, even though we shouldn't speak these things over life, we always say how we're mad and we're crazy and all those things. So we have an unusual sense of humor. We we laugh at things which just don't make sense and things which you just shouldn't laugh at. And you know, as I said before, sometimes, you know, my father and I would speak without words. Sometimes for my father, it was just a push of the mouth or something like that in a direction, and you know where his head was and thing, and you know, it's just laughter tends to fill my house, and I guess memories of him, and you know, things that he would have said in a certain moment, and you know, how he'd approach certain things. I guess the other thing is that, like, the man that I want to be, that I see in him, sometimes I try to remember who he was and just try to make him proud.
And I guess that's something that's psychological, again, just talk therapy, if you will. That's been helpful for me. It was also helpful for me.